Wow, here we are again, Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. You may notice that we bounce back and forth from the Old Testament to the New Testament when we're talking about Jesus, when we're talking about trusting in God. The only way you can trust in God is you have to get to Him. Well, the only way you can get to God is through His Son, Jesus Christ. There is no other way. You can climb a ladder. I was speaking with a lady the other day who was going to heaven by works. And I had to tell her, lady, you can climb that ladder until you can knock on the door. When you get high enough so you can knock on the door, Jesus is not going to open the door because you climbed up the wrong way. The only way to get there is to personally accept Him. He said, you cannot work for me to get there. What I have is a gift to you. And you can't work for a gift. A gift is a gift. You cannot work for a gift. If you get a gift, a free gift from God, that's gift of salvation, you have to ask Him for it and He gives it to you. And you absolutely cannot work for it after He gives it to you. Yes, you work in Him. Yes, you follow through. What I'm doing right now is because I love Jesus, because He freed me from the world of sin that I lived in. And I am not working for Him, I'm working through Him and in Him. Because He freed me from the world. Let's look at Genesis, all the way back in Genesis chapter 28 and 15, the first book in the Bible. The Lord also will be a refuge. What is a refuge? A refuge is a place a lot of us know who are working people out here and everything. There has been a time when I had to hang my hat somewhere through my life. I really had no place to stay. And I had to go somewhere, hang my hat there, and go to work and work there for my food and board and my keep, and be displaced, if you please, for a while. And I've had to do that. Well, the Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge for the time of trouble. Wow. You know, our days on this earth are few and full of trouble. And if we don't seek Jesus on a daily basis and get Him in our hearts and lives, we're going to have terrible problems all of our life. So we must seek Him and is our refuge. And they that know Thy name will put their trust in Thee. For Thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek Thee. Wow. If we seek Him, we're not forsaken. But until we do seek Him, we are forsaken. Because we have not asked Him. Yes, He knows we're here. Yes, He knows we're living in sin. He doesn't choose to watch the sin that we live in, but He knows that the fact that the number I was when I was born on the earth, that number needs to show up on the book. And it's not going to show up on the book until I say, Jesus, I am a sinner. Forgive me of my sin. Come into my heart and save my soul. And then the Bible said it won't be blotted out of that book. Sing praises to the Lord, which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people His doings. When He maketh inquisition for blood, He remembereth them. He had forgotten not the cry of the humble. See, to be remembered by Him, you must get His attention. In order to get His attention, you must cry out to Him. Psalm 9:9 through 12. Casting all your cares upon Him, for He careth for you, in 1 Peter 5:7 and 11. I used this verse in another excerpt just recently, that we need to remember, be sober. If we've asked Him to save us, then we need to put away the things of the world. Be sober from the things of the world and follow Jesus as that. Be vigilant, he said, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Because I'm a man, I can use the terminology woman. And a man is opposite from a woman. In this day and age, the devil has a thing we call, what do we call it? Where you're looking at naked women all the time, or you're doing something and you're living in that kind of life. And because of that, the Bible says that's the devil coming after you like a roaring lion. And I can't seem to think of the name. But anyway, like a roaring lion, the devil coming at you to devour you. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same affliction are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Everybody that is in the world has this problem. And this problem comes today in a great form against people. There are magazines out there that show naked bodies, both men and women. And there are things on the website that could be found that show things that are absolutely 100% opposite from God. They're what the devil puts out there. Listen to what God says about grace, though. But the God of all grace. What is grace? Grace is saying to a fellow that owes you $5, hey, fella, forget it. You don't owe me $5 anymore. I'm going to make that a gift to you. And then you won't have to worry about it anymore. So it's going to be a gift to you. And that's what God is. He gives us grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Jesus Christ. Now, if you are saved, that grace has brought you into eternal glory by his Son, Jesus Christ. After that ye suffer a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. What does he mean by suffering a while? What he means is to separate yourself from those things that you were doing before you got saved. The Lord delivered me instantly from alcohol, delivered me instantly from cussing. I still have some things 40-something years later, right at 50 years later, I still have some things I'm working on. One of the things God said to me, if you're going to preach my word, you can't be smoking. You can't be doing one of the devil's things if you're going to be preaching. So God delivered me from that habit. And he settled me. It says here, you'll be perfect, you'll be strengthened, and he will settle you. He settled me down. To him be the glory, dominion forever and ever. Amen and amen. Only in Jesus Christ is there forever and ever good. Now in Satan there is forever and ever evil. But in Jesus there forever and ever. 1 Peter 5, 7 through 11. That's found in the New Testament of the Bible. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made the heavens and the earth. We're talking about Jesus Christ coming, and he's the one that spoke the heavens and the earth into existence with his Father when he was in heaven with him. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. I love the fact Jesus never slumbers or sleeps. He never lays down on the job. He never does anything that would affect his people adversely in the sense of like wickedness would. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. Wow. Boy, do we need that. We need help from God with our right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Wow, I love the fact. He is going to preserve our soul. Not that our body won't see some evil. I tell you what, you slam your finger in the door, and you're going to feel some evil for a few minutes. You're going to hurt. And if you do something against God, it's going to be like slamming your fingers in the door. The Lord's going to say, hey, man, you don't do that. That's something you do not do. I said to a boy the other day, he said something about a man who was an alcoholic and has been working his way out of it. And God has been trying to deliver him completely. And he said something about the alcoholic. And I said, hey, I heard you say a word the other day. You're saved and following God. I heard you say a word the other day that God would not have come out of your mouth. Yeah, he said, I did. I fell there. Well, I said, that's like that alcoholic. And that's why you smell beer on his breath. Because he fell a little bit. But he's working hard to not do that. By the way, I met him yesterday in the store last night, getting something to eat. Doing the opposite with his money of what he'd done for years with his money, just bought alcohol. And now he's down there buying food, figuring out how to eat. And do you know, for a single man, that's one of the hardest things that you'll ever do, is figure out how to live after you've had a wife. And after you've been an alcoholic and bought nothing but alcohol with your money for years, to figure out how to buy some food, to cook it, and actually enjoy eating. It's very hard to enjoy eating when you're alone. Just you. The only reason you need to eat is just to survive. Just survive. I eat to survive now. My pleasure eating was with my wife. I lost my wife in April last year after 57 years of full-time marriage. 3 years we went together, so 60 years we were associated with each other. And she was one of the best food providers there ever was. Cooked meals. I loved what she cooked. Other people may not have. But we lived together and she cooked. What she cooked, I learned to, I just enjoy it. And I haven't had a good meal since she went, not even at a restaurant. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalm 121, 1-8. I need that verse today. I need that verse today. The Lord is the one preserving my going out, and He is the one preserving my coming in. And from this time forth and evermore. Wow. Can I weather the storm until I die? Yes, I can. Can I weather it with peace? Yes, I can. Can I weather it with pleasure? Yes, I can. My peace has got to be in Jesus Christ, and my pleasure's got to be being in His Word and doing what He says. Of late, the Lord has had me do some helping people. We've had a big storm in the southern part of Georgia where I live, and I've been able to go down and help people and witness and talk to people about the Lord and win some to the Lord and give them a hope. Yes, they lost their house, their car, but they're intact themselves. And what they have is the most important thing. We have made a mistake in America thinking our house and car and all that and our stuff is the most important thing. Our stuff is not the most important thing. I got news for you. I go by house after house after house as I'm going to work and places and things, and I see where somebody died and the kids came and they piled 99% of what Mom and Daddy had in the house out at the street for the dumpster to get. All that stuff that meant so much to them meant nothing to the kids. And actually, it's unreal. But my son, a couple of years ago, said, "Hey, Dad, look at this stuff." He got they even threw the man's pistol. The man had been in the service, and he died. And the children came or sent somebody over. They said, "I want every single thing to go in the dumpster loaded." I mean, they threw everything. The man was a serviceman. They threw his medals that he had out. They threw his service pistol out. They threw everything that he had in the dumpster. All considered good stuff to many people. My boy considered it real good and got a whole bunch of it and considered it real good. And so, listen, stuff is just stuff. And it might be real good in a sense. In another sense, it's not worth heaven to keep you from heaven. One more excerpt on Psalm 70 and verse 1 through 5. Make haste, O God, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Lord. This is a verse we need to say every morning. Help me, God. Make haste to deliver me, God, from my own self. We are a self-destructing people. We will do things that will let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame that they say, Ah. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let God be magnified. Continually. Every breath you take, you need to realize God is in it. He has given you that breath. Listen, He put every sparrow on this world, and He knows every sparrow. Millions of them. Millions of sparrows. He knows every one of them when one falls to the ground. And He knows every breath you take. Let God be magnified. I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God, thou art my help, my deliverer. O Lord, do not tarry, or make no tarrying. Wow. Keep my soul in heaven with you, and do not tarry to keep it there. And when I lay this body down, immediately I will go to be with Him. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, if there's nothing in this world worse than a more fleshly, a more feeble is mankind. We are fleshly feeble. Thou hast given commandments to save me. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. For thou art my hope, O Lord God. Thou art my trust for my youth. By thee have I been held up from the womb. Thou art he that took me out of my mother's bowels. My praise shall be continually of thee. I am as a wanderer unto many, but thou art my strong refuge. Blessed is the Lord, who hath not given us as a prey for their teeth. Our Lord is escaped. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of a snare of the fowler. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Wow. The snare of alcoholism got broken in my life. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. Psalm 124, 6 through 8. Wow. This is a little excerpt on how to live godly. And it's not instantly done. The salvation part is instantly done. The living part after salvation is the working part we must work on. Not work on it so that we go to heaven, but work on it because we are going to heaven. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.